welcome to another RSR. Tonight it's a double. First off, we're reviewing Toronto FC 2, Philadelphia Union 1, MLS 2024, Week 24, and then we'll review Canada 2, Uruguay 2, 3-4 on penalties in the CONMEBOL Copa América 2024 third place match. We'll start with Toronto-Philly because Toronto FC wins! Their first match since May 18th. They're still in a playoff spot. They stopped the rot. Bill Manning's gone. And things are going well for his two former teams because the Argos just beat the Alouettes. And TFC just won their first game since May 18th. The rot is stopped. They've woken up. They needed a slap in the face. Took 10 games. They finally got it. And even then, they had to come back to do it. But in the end, Toronto FC wins. They get it done. What a win. Still in a playoff spot. 8th place now, so they've actually moved up. 27 points on the season. They're climbing back up that historical table once again as well. Took a while. But good win for Toronto. In the 39th minute, Ty Baribo scores off a free kick. He heads the ball in. He was offside, but they call it onside anyway. 0-1, Ty Baribo for Philly gets the goal. We go to halftime 0-1, but Toronto legitimately woke up. They played very well tonight, overall. In the first half, they were fighting. They were angry. They were full of anger and fight. And they were not happy about that Forge game. They came out attacking tonight. They came out fighting tonight. They came out wanting to get some out of this because, one, they had to. Second of all, well, they had to. But third of all, they had to make a statement. Somebody, you have to let out your anger at some point. You have to be disappointed in yourself to a point where you finally have to wake up and say, damn, we really let that happen? And then you go from there. And look what happened here. First half, Toronto FC played a really good match. Even without Insigne on the pitch, with some players that shouldn't have started, but did. They played a good game in both halves, but I thought Toronto was the better team throughout both halves. It was sad to see them get scored on by Philly, who also has had a very long losing streak, winless streak as well. They have not won a match since May 18th either, turns out. We both have sucked for as long as we've sucked. So somebody had to break their streak. Or it could have been a draw. But in the end, somebody broke their streak. Second half, DeAndre Kerr, 74th minute, gets the ball, played into him. He taps it in as he's going down, being pulled down by defender. Elliott, ball goes in past Rick, 1-1. 78th minute for DeAndre Kerr. He makes the run. Gets the ball played to him. He slots it home emphatically. A brace within 4 minutes for DeAndre Kerr, the super sub. It's 2-1. That's the way it would end. 2-1 Toronto FC. They get the win. We move on. Another win. And we're still in the playoff spots. We never dropped out of them. We never dropped out of them. You love to see it. We never dropped out of them. Once we got there, we never have dropped out of them. Still wild card 8th place, but you know what? Sometimes you got to answer the bell, and they did. They did answer the bell. With that being said, what a game. What a game. Stats are as follows. 10 shots to 11, 2 shots on goal to 3, 62% possession to 38% possession, 579 passes to 341, 87% pass accuracy to 74, 8 fouls, 12. 2 offside to 5, 0 yellow cards to 1, 0 red cards to 0, 0 corners to 3. Toronto played the game that they needed to play. They answered the bell. They were angry. They were disappointed. They were embarrassed. They had to answer like this. They fired Bill Manning. They had to answer like this. There had to be an answer. People are playing for their jobs right now, frankly. There will be players coming in the summer. Oso and Larea will be back. Coelho will be back soon. Servania will be back soon. Players were playing for their lives right now, to be totally honest. And overall, I think they all answered the call. They answered the call. They were playing for their life, and they did it. They were like, okay, we got to make a point. This has gone on way too long and way too far. We aren't special. We found out we aren't special. We're not on high winning games against Forge just because we're Toronto FC. Just because we should be doesn't mean we can. Right? And that's what they realized. That Forge ain't Simcoe. Forge ain't Saint Laurent. Forge ain't other CPL teams. Hell, Forge ain't Montreal. That's Forge. And Toronto, just because you should be on high winning games against teams like them, and the crest should be that big to where it's like, oh, we got this. It's not. You've lost that privilege 3 years ago. But during this skid, they thought it wouldn't get that bad. I think what really woke them up is, yeah, they were losing MLS matches and drawing, but they never thought it would get that bad to lose to Forge. Like, they thought Toronto could still even sleepwalk through a portion of their schedule and lose multiple matches. They'd still beat Forge. And I think that's what really, truly woke them up. It's like, holy shit, we are bad. Holy shit, we do suck right now. Holy shit, we're not as good as we think we are. We're not as on high as we think we are. We're not as untouchable as we think we are. We are crap, and we are touchable. And we got to work harder. And I think that Forge game legitimately said, whoa, 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 whoa. We lost our work ethic. We lost our football attacking, the way we play style. We lost our mentality, which should have been obvious 5 weeks ago. But now, you're like, whoa. Stop the clock. We should have beat them. If we were as good as we thought we were just unlucky. We should have beat them. No. So they woke up. They answered the bell. My point being is this. Philly's a bad team right now, too. They're going through similar situations, but they don't have the players on paper that we do. They got good players. We got players who were great, who have big names, who should be performing better. They have good players who performed well, but are starting to age out, get tired, be found out type stuff. Hell, Gazdag didn't score. It was Ty Baribo, one of their newer signings, one of their more depth signings, right? And you look at the game and you're like, we should win this, right? We should get a good result out of this if we wake up and play the way we should and all that jazz and falderall. We should be the team to beat Philadelphia and break our streak of losing and not winning. And they finally did. Toronto's last win overall was the Saint Laurent game. The Montreal game before that was their last MLS win until tonight. They finally won a game once again. And that Forge game, I guess, was a wake-up call this whole team needed, because it was exactly the way this team woke up, fought, and was like, wait, we got to be better. We have to be better. We are not untouchable. And that's exactly how they played. They played a game where they knew they had to win, they had to make a point, they had to fight, they had to scratch, they had to claw, and that's exactly what they did. And Insigne should be a super sub from now on. He's no starter, but 30 minutes, he came on for the second half, for 30 minutes, he ran that damn game. He changed it. DeAndre Kerr as well. Insigne, DeAndre Kerr might be the super sub solution this team needs, because Insigne is no starter anymore. He should play a half at best. But damn it, that super sub appearance was amazing for Insigne. Amazing. To the point where I'd call him the man of the match. I'd call Insigne the man of the match. Amazing performances as a super sub. DeAndre Kerr got 2 goals. Better than Prince Owuzu. But there still needs to be moves to be made. We don't sit and stand here. Now that the window's open, we got to make moves. We got to sell some people, push them out that don't need to be there. Rolstead in particular. And wait for Oso Larea to come back. Once that happens, we might have a chance. We might have a chance to save this season, make the playoffs, go somewhere in Leagues Cup, save the Canadian Championship, go to the final, and see where that goes. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. We are not dead yet. We're walking on a precipice, but we're not dead yet. Maybe we're pulling ourselves off that precipice, but you don't want to put yourself on that precipice. A 1-0 win 6 weeks from now, 5.5 weeks from now, would have us go through to the Canadian Championship Final. That's the good news. I think we could do that, especially with Lorea Oso, so on and so forth, and new signings. It's a good thing it's far apart in this case, I guess, and a second leg. We got a couple of league games left before we play Leagues Cup. We have Bernadeschi going to the All-Star game. Some of our other players that would have been snubs got hurt anyway, so there you go. But Spicer as well. We need him. Especially if we want to do this Insigne super sub thing, we need Tyrese Spicer. But again, Toronto played the game they were supposed to, and I'm happy with it. This is the answer we needed. This is exactly what we needed. They got the win. Philly, milquetoast at best. They got a goal. But Toronto legitimately ran their show. And this is the answer we needed, for sure. So, there you go. With that being said, let's move on to the Copa third place. Let's change it up. And now we are talking about Canada 2, Uruguay 2, 3-4 on penalties in the CONMEBOL Copa América 2024 third place game. Canada 2, Uruguay 2. 3-4 en penales en la CONMEBOL Copa América 3 puesto partido. Uruguay gana de la 3 puesto. Canada 4 puesto. Canada are fourth place after a game they dominated for most of. They lost on penalties. And it's not too shocking, but they lost on penalties in a game they dominated. Uruguay, they kept them alive way too long. And in the end, Uruguay, very talented, very, very historically good team. They know how to get things done when it comes down to it. And Uruguay wins the third place game. They get that bronze medal. They keep the bronze medal in CONMEBOL. But Canada should have won this game. They should have finished at least one more goal. 3-2. They shouldn't have defended with a high line at the last 3 minutes. They should have just taken it to the corner, taken it to the corner, and finished the game out. They honestly shot themselves in the foot there. They could have easily won this game 2-1, if not 3-1. But in the end, Uruguay kept themselves alive long enough to where they could steal it, which you could tell they were definitely emotionally detached from this match, which I expected. But in the end, you still can't keep a team like Uruguay alive. Goals were scored as follows. 8th minute, Rodrigo Betancourt scores. Ball crossed in, off the corner. He spins, brings it down, spins. Nutmegs defender, puts it over the hands of Dane St. Clair to make it 0-1. 0-1, Uruguay. 22 minutes later, another wonder goal from a corner. Bombito brings it down, falls to Kone. Kone with a standing scorpion kick to put it over the hands of Sergio Rocher. Into the net, 1-1, 1-1. Halftime, it is 1-1. 1-1 miro tiempo. And Canada looks like the better team at the half. They really do. They look like the better team. Ever since the goal, they looked like they could score more than one. They really should have been leading at the half. And they were the better team. Canada were the better team as this game went on. And it's honestly a wild situation that they lost on penalties then. This was Canada's game. And frankly, they bottled it. Straight up. With that being said, second half goals. 80th minute, Jonathan David. A shot is taken. Rebound falls to Jonathan David. He slots it home past Rocher to make it 2-1, 2-1. But 90 plus 2 minutes, 10 minutes later, Luis Suarez runs in behind. The defense is way too high and they fall asleep. Ball crossed in by Jimenez. Falls to Suarez. You can't let him be that close. He's going to finish. He does. 2-2, 2-2. 2-2 at full time. 2-2 esta noche. We go to penalties. Jonathan David starts. He slots it home 1-0, 1-0. Fede Valverde slots his home 1-1, 1-1. Moise Bombito, again, ice in his veins. Ends his tournament on a high 2-1, 2-1. Rodrigo Betancourt scores his penalty 2-2, 2-2. Ishmael Kone misses. Telegraphed it. Rocher makes the save. 2-2, 2-2. Georgian de Arasqueta bangs it home. 3-2, 2-3, 2-3. Matthew Chouanier bangs his home. What a beautiful penalty by Chouanier. 3-3, 3-3. Luis Suarez, again, thumps it home because Suarez is amazing from penalties. What do you expect was going to happen? 3-4, 3-4. And then Alphonso Davies steps up and Panenka's one off the bar. That was a horrible penalty by Davies. Pressure moments, I don't think he's good at penalties. Just like the Belgium game. Well, Davies honestly threw it away. Panenka off the crossbar, and I thought that was going in, but nope. 3-4, 3-4 en penales, 2-2 esta noche, 2-2 on the night. Uruguay wins, and they basically stole it. In my heart of hearts, I think they basically stole it. Stats are as follows. 14 shots to 12, 6 shots on goal to 5, 51% possession to 49% possession, 326 passes to 313, 74% pass accuracy to 75, 18 fouls to 17, 1 offside to 1, 4 yellow cards to 2, 0 red cards to 0, 7 corners to 6. With this game, I'm proud of the Canadian men's national team. They dominated this game. They were the better team. I do not think anybody would disagree that Canada were the better team in this match. They should have won it outright. There were a couple of mistakes defensively that led to Canada losing the match. And you hate to see it because the corner with Betancourt popping it away, sleep. Defense was asleep. The Suarez in behind goal, asleep. And no, he wasn't offside. Let's not even argue about that. There was no reason to look at it. And then Canada, penalties-wise, having Dane St. Clair in net. He's good in MLS on penalties, but all these players are higher quality than MLS players that took penalties. Of course, he was going to look a bit bad. I think Crepeau would have looked a bit better, but it was still Uruguayan penalties, and they got some really good penalty takers. Some really good finishers, and that's exactly what happened here. Uruguay capitalized on their moments that they had. Canada dominated the match, didn't capitalize except for 2, and Uruguay wins the 3rd place bronze medal. Now, Canada did put up a great fight, and they've had a really good tournament, and I'm really proud about the Canadian men's national team. I'm really proud for what they've shown at this tournament. This does sort of suck. This does suck, this result. But even then, being at the 3rd place match, I thought they could do. And they honestly played this 3rd place match better than I expected them to play. To be totally honest. And I'm watching this team, and I'm like, you know what? They're good. They're a very good team. And they're learning. They're believing in Jesse Marsch. They're pushing forward. There's a lot of things to like from this Canadian team, even if they finished 4th. They're still the best team in CONCACAF at this tournament. The USA, Mexico got group. Canada made it to the 3rd place game and damn near won the 3rd place game. They never wilted against teams that were better than them. Canada did what they had to do. Was it the best? No. Should they have been better finishing? Yes. Do I think they're going to learn how to be better at finishing? Yes. It started to come throughout the tournament, the finishing. But let me tell you, Canada is a very talented team and a very well-drilled machine under Jesse Marsch. I think he's perfect for these guys. I think it's the type of team they need to be. It's an amazing, amazing team, and I'm very, very proud of the Canadian men at this tournament. Uruguay, they were emotionally disconnected from this match, and they still won on penalties, which is honestly the biggest Uruguay thing for them to do, to be totally honest. That is pure Uruguay, to be honest. To win a match like this, emotionally detached on penalties. That's honestly a big thing for them to do. Bielsa's a good manager, but Jesse Marsch, I think, had him beat tonight, to be totally honest. But it is what it is. Canada, they shot themselves in the foot, lost on penalties where they probably weren't favored. You live and you learn, is my opinion. But I'm proud of Canada. Congratulations to Uruguay. Man of the match for me, I gotta say, Ismael Kone, man of the match. What a performance by Kone. Amazing tournament, amazing night. Kone gets man of the match. With that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribe. Send some chats on live streams. Comment on this video. Put us in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow. First off, for the Euro final, live and review. Spain versus England. We'll be live. We'll review it no matter what. That's that. Then we will be live for the Copa América final. Argentina versus Colombia, 2 lives, 2 reviews tomorrow, both continental finals. We'll see 2 trophies lifted, and we'll talk about it. That's what we got tomorrow. So have a great Sunday. I'm Ryan, and I'm out. Peace. See you later.